In 1972, NASA launched a mission that officially never existed. One astronaut went to the edge of the unknown and never returned. The capsule came back alone, but the man was gone. Tonight, we step beyond the official records and uncover the chilling mystery of the vanishing astronaut. Flight 1972-X, a mission erased from history, hidden in shadows. In the early 1970s, NASA was pushing boundaries like never before. Space travel was still young, and every mission tested the limits of human endurance and technology. Yet among the publicized flights, one mission slipped through the cracks. Flight 1972-X, a launch that apparently never happened, at least according to official records. Only a handful of engineers, flight controllers, and select astronauts were aware it existed, and the secrecy surrounding it would later become the stuff of legend. Flight 1972-X was designed to test a revolutionary trajectory system, one capable of unprecedented orbital maneuvers. But something went horribly wrong. Telemetry logs were partially erased, mission reports went missing, and communications from mission control were altered after the fact. What little survived hints at a journey into anomalies that humans were never meant to face. Amateur radio operators later claimed to intercept strange signals during the flight. Pulses, bursts of static, and one final chilling transmission from the astronaut. They're not stars. They're watching. Within NASA, whispers of engineers being reassigned or silenced circulated. Retired personnel spoke of deleted files, secretive briefings, and unexplained directives to never discuss the flight. The capsule itself returned to Earth without incident, yet the astronaut did not. Official statements suggested he had disembarked quietly, but accounts from insiders imply a far stranger outcome. A trained, experienced astronaut vanished, leaving only the spacecraft and scattered, cryptic data. Flight 1972-X has survived only in fragments. Whispers, intercepted transmissions, and the recollections of those who glimpsed the edges of something incomprehensible. And yet, even in these fragments, hints emerge that this mission touched forces far beyond what human understanding can grasp. What could have caused a trained astronaut to simply disappear in the void of space? Telemetry didn't lie, but no one could explain what it showed. The spacecraft's instruments reported anomalies almost immediately after launch. Trajectory data fluctuated in ways impossible to explain with known physics. Radar readings deviated sharply from calculated paths, and propulsion systems registered power surges that engineers insisted should have been impossible. Electrical fields around the capsule fluctuated erratically, while radiation monitors spiked, registering levels higher than any human or machine was meant to endure. Some theorists suggest the spacecraft passed near an unidentified object, a phenomenon unlike anything cataloged by NASA. Its presence allegedly interfered with navigation, disrupted communications, and may have caused the astronaut to experience something entirely outside the bounds of known space. Others propose temporal distortion. For brief moments, the capsule may have existed in a layer of time or dimension that defies measurement. Engineers observing the mission reportedly saw instruments behave as though guided by unseen forces. Graphs warped, sensors glitched, and data streams appeared scrambled or incomplete. Attempts to replicate these anomalies in controlled environments failed. Even years later, some radar operators claim to detect faint echoes at precisely the moments corresponding to the mission. Signals that appeared to come from nowhere. Despite these observations, NASA's official documentation made no mention of these anomalies. The mission was sanitized, stripped from public knowledge, and erased from archives. What little data survived is fragmented, leaving speculation as the only path to understanding. The Vanishing Astronaut may have been the first and only human to confront such anomalies firsthand. Even now, with the official silence, his disappearance raises questions about the unknown dangers of space and the mysteries that may lurk beyond the reach of human instruments. And if the anomaly didn't end there, what else did the astronaut encounter beyond the edges of known space? Some saw what shouldn't be seen and spoke at great personal risk. Though the official records remain silent, fragments of the story survived through those brave enough to speak. Retired engineers, mission controllers, and amateur radio operators all tell visions of a truth the government worked tirelessly to erase. These witnesses describe signals that should not have existed, bursts of static, coded pulses, and transmissions that coincided with the astronaut's disappearance. Some audio snippets, though fragmented, included faint, urgent phrases. Not alone. They're watching. Something is here. No one has ever verified the source, but those who captured them insist they came directly from the mission's trajectory. One retired mission controller recalled the capsule's path bending impossibly, defying the calculations of every onboard computer. When he raised the anomaly, he was instructed to delete all telemetry associated with the event. Another engineer claimed he saw the astronaut return physically, but altered, disoriented, withdrawn, and visibly shaken. Even subtle movements betrayed a mind grappling with something beyond human comprehension. Whispers circulated that the astronaut had glimpsed phenomena no one else could survive. Amateur radio enthusiasts add their own chilling observations. Sudden bursts of intelligible chatter, followed by moments of silence that coincided precisely with the flight window. Equipment inexplicably failed, only to resume normal function seconds later. Witnesses described these as moments of interference, though some believe the signals were more than electrical anomalies. They were messages from the unknown, a warning, or perhaps a final cry. for help. These fragments, though anecdotal, form a haunting mosaic of secrecy and unease. Each testimony adds depth to the story, hinting that the mission's true events were deliberately hidden. And yet, despite decades of silence, the echoes of Flight 1972-X persist, leaving only one unnerving question: what truly happened to the astronaut? And what forces were waiting for him in the void? Was he lost, transformed, or erased entirely? And if so, by what forces beyond our understanding? When the capsule returned, the astronaut did not. And the cost may have been unimaginable. The return of the spacecraft should have been the triumphant conclusion of a successful mission. Instead, it marked the beginning of a nightmare no one could fully explain. The capsule landed intact, systems nominal, but the astronaut did not emerge in any official report. Some witnesses insist he returned physically, yet something fundamental had changed. His posture, his movements, even the subtle expression of his eyes suggested a man who had stared into a realm no human was meant to encounter. Engineers and mission personnel who observed him privately described a profound shift, a silence that carried more weight than any words, a hesitation in every gesture, and a palpable fear that seemed to emanate from his very presence. Some whispered that he had glimpsed a phenomenon that bent space and time itself, that reality had momentarily broken around him, leaving traces in his mind that defied comprehension. Attempts to interview him ended abruptly. His responses were minimal, fragmented, or evasive. The government reportedly moved quickly to classify all records associated with the mission, erasing telemetry, flight logs, and communications. Retired personnel recall being instructed to destroy documents, alter reports, and remain silent under threat of consequences. The lack of official acknowledgement left the astronaut as a ghost within NASA's history, while those who witnessed anomalies faced the burden of secrecy. The consequences extend beyond a single individual. If the astronaut encountered forces beyond human understanding, it raises urgent questions. What lies hidden in the void? What dangers await those who venture too far? And how much of what we call space exploration is shrouded in silence? Flight 1972-X serves as a haunting reminder that ambition and curiosity can reach beyond safety, and that some boundaries exist not merely to be tested, but to protect us from what we cannot survive. And even now, decades later, the story refuses to fade, lingering in whispers, anomalies, and unanswered questions that continue to haunt the edges of space. Some secrets refuse to fade, and some questions have no answer. Decades after Flight 1972-X, the story remains shrouded in silence. NASA's official records offer nothing. No missing astronaut, no documentation, no explanation. Yet fragments persist, whispering through declassified leaks, retired personnel memories, and the occasional intercepted radio signal. Even with time, the vanishing astronaut refuses to leave the imagination of those who follow anomalies, conspiracy theories, and unexplained phenomena in space. Amateur radio operators have claimed to capture faint, unintelligible transmissions, eerily coinciding with the dates of the mission. Retired engineers describe scrambled telemetry and systems behaving unpredictably, often in ways that defy physics. Whistleblowers hint at erased logs, reassigned personnel, and directives to remain silent, creating an enduring haze of uncertainty. Each fragment raises more questions than it answers, leaving the narrative suspended between fact and speculation. The astronaut's disappearance continues to provoke intense debate. Was he erased entirely? Transformed by forces beyond comprehension? Or pulled into a dimension humans cannot perceive? Could the phenomena he encountered have threatened not only the mission, but the understanding of space itself? Each account, each whisper, and each anomaly hints at a deeper truth, one carefully hidden from the public eye. Flight 1972-X has become more than a lost mission. It is a legend, a cautionary tale, and a puzzle that defies resolution. Its story lingers in the minds of those who chase the unknown, reminding us that even in the vast emptiness of space, secrets endure. Some truths cannot be documented, some events cannot be explained, and some mysteries, like the vanishing astronaut, exist to haunt us, waiting for the moment we dare to ask the questions no one can answer. The vanishing astronaut may be gone, but the shadows he left behind stretch across decades, challenging anyone who dares to uncover the truth. The vanishing astronaut may never be fully explained, and Flight 1972-X may remain forever classified, erased from history. Yet the story persists in whispered recollections of retired personnel, in intercepted signals, and in fragments of telemetry that hint at something humanity is not meant to understand. The truth, if it exists, may be too dangerous, too incomprehensible, or simply beyond our reach. Some mysteries are meant to haunt us, to challenge our understanding, and to ignite our imagination. They linger in the shadows, teasing the curious and daring the bold to ask, what lies beyond the known? If you felt the pull of the unexplained, the fascination with the unknown, and the chill of a question that refuses an answer, subscribe to the channel for more stories of lost history, unsolved mysteries, and conspiracies that refuse to die. Join the journey into the shadows. And as always, don't forget to look beyond the fog.